This is Josiah Plays Pillars of Eternity. Alright, so I figured that we would have finally crossed this bridge when we come to it, and now we have come to it. And I just said that exact stupid joke a second ago while I was on stream but not recording yet, and I thought it was dumb enough to repeat. So I repeated it. Here we go, let's cross the bridge and talk to these Delemgan sisters. Delemgan. Delemgan? Delemgan? Delemgan. I guess we'll go with Delemgan. Big conversation coming up. Here we go. As they both appear, looking very naturey. Two identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. Their skin is tree bark, ridged and scaly, wreathed in a curling tangle of roots, buds, and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of serrated leaves like the drooping branches of the elms above, and the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds or even thousands of concentric rings, as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennia. Cool, so rings like on a tree? These things kind of sound like the Sylvari from Guild Wars. Alright. The Delemgan sisters. No, the Delemgan sisters is what we're going with. I'm probably going to continue to pronounce that both ways.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
One of them extends a snarl of roots towards you that snakes and twists together to form something like an open hand, palm down. The other stares at you unblinking, and as her frown deepens, her face creaks. Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul, like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell her and be troubled no more. It would pay the debt of her predecessor.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
Yeah, there's a different motive here. I'm here to help.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
That is a very different voice than the one I just used for her. I'll try to adjust mine. Seek a man that came through here. Heard there was a commotion. Forgotten my purpose in the presence of such legendary beauty. This is like the dandelion answer. I'd gladly burn this place down, but I have more pressing concerns. That's fucked. Now we're going to stick with honest, as is our wont with Katie. I seek a man who came through here. It sounds as though you have already met him. There, by her own admission, see the...
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
Rhiannon opens her mouth to respond, but all that escapes her knotted lips is an exasperated, rustling sigh. Seetha turns back to face you.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious, even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
We seem to be linked, and I need to know why.
Ah, so you do. I should have seen it when you first approached.
Seetha's eyes scan over you for a moment, and you have the strangest sense that she is looking beneath your skin.
We are slipping in our advanced age, sister.
I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
Uh-oh, my time has nearly reached its end. That sounds ominous. I just need to get to Theos.
I am sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek. Nor can any man. An awakening cannot be undone, any more than your past can be undone.
Still gotta find Theos. It's my quest, lady. What's she mean? I thought Merwald said... What? Kana glances at you. But that can't be right. Not after everything. There must be someone else we can ask. Madicho, there must be some way. To be chained to such a past. Her face is pale, her eyes hollow. A bitter and grievous thing, Watcher. So this has all been for nothing, and I'm going to lose my mind?
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
I didn't have a choice. No, I don't want to say that. That or kill the man who brought it up.
He is beyond forgiveness, for his deeds are beyond repair. Is that so? It would seem that way to me as well. But if that is true, then the two of you may be connected more closely than you realize.
Tell me more.
However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Sheetha?
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
You underestimate me.
Or perhaps you underestimate your foe, Old One. Where your soul is renewed in its ignorance in each span of your life, his only grows in cunning and resolve.
This is reminding me of Planescape Torment all of a sudden, with the Transcendent one and the Nameless one.
The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, your doom is certain.
Well, I don't like certain doom.
But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
Well, I'd still rather find out, I think. My past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest?
You might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
Sanity schmanity, who needs it? Overrated, Imo.
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Theos, would he remember?
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Well, that's convenient.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos's path many times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
Interesting.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
You said you know where he went.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, Sun and Shadow.
Sun and Shadow sounds cool. Sheila nods, causing leaves to shuffle against one another. Alright, so how do I go down there?
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
Well, shit. It can never be simple, can it? Is there another way to get to him?
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
Oh? Tell me more.
Don't be cruel, sister.
Don't be cruel to a heart that's true, sister.
The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take you where you want to go.
Faiths were judged in place of crimes. That sounds interesting. What is this court?
No more than a ruin now. It is older than we. A place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it. But at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below.
Okay. Heretics cast into a pit. Sounds like an enlightened society.
The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls. And their sentences were eternal.
Oh, see, now that's
It is
bad.
said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
I mean, just killing somebody or imprisoning them for their one life is one thing, and then they die and their soul gets to move on and be reincarnated as somebody else. But imprisoning their soul forever so that they don't even get to reincarnate, that's like a serious fucking punishment right there. Seems like overkill. What do you mean, with the help of the gods?
The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach Sun and Shadow. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I feel like Abaddon owes me a favor after that shit I just did, so... Can I just, Abaddon, homie, you remember me? I'm the one that gave you back your memory and everything. Look at your hammer here. Could we maybe get this expedited, buddy? Don't tell Andra, she's mad at me. Alright. How would I ever get the gods... No, wait. How would I ever get the gods to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
So, the only way to get through this pit is to pray for help?
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
Thanks, Rhiannon. That's gonna help me out. Impaled on jagged rocks is bad. Who would I pray to? Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake, the feeling is shared.
Is there no other way?
None.
She doesn't have to sound so happy about it. How do I pray?
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well.
Okay.
You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
Do not be a fool with gods. Got it. I have other questions.
What do you wish to know?
I need to know about praying for the support of the gods.
We will tell you what we can.
Wait, you already told me everything. Never mind. I have other questions.
What do you wish to know?
How did you know I was pursuing Theos?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds.
That's handy.
You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
You mentioned that people come to these elms without knowing why. A soul has a will all its own. Its needs and whims are seldom understood, but they follow them all the same.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness.
Interesting.
Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case, let us hope it is for peace.
Yeah, peace sounds good. After I kill Theos.
Or vengeance.
That's what I'm talking about, Rhiannon. I want to know about the two of you.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences. We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
Yeah, I can imagine why you'd be pissed.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
You got it. I guess that's all I have to talk to them about now. Farewell.
Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
Let's see. He must be destroyed. A just end for a vicious man. Give him our worst.
All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours.
I'll keep that in mind.
And be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned, and it is those that trouble the soul above all others. May you find an answer to yours.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks. And they leave. The Delamgon sisters directed me to Ter Evron to petition the favor of the gods. New quest, Council of Stars. Sitha and Rhiannon, the Delamgon of Elm's Reach, told me that Theos has destroyed the route from Ter Evron to Brith Eamon. To reach him, I will have to descend through the pit in the Burial Isle. That requires the aid of the gods. Pray to the gods in Ter Evron. The Delimgon sisters explained that no mortal can survive the descent to Braith Aemon. The gods, however, can grant me safe passage. To ask for their favor, I'll need to pray to them in Ter Evron, where they are said to commune with mortals. New quest, Court of the Penitents. The Delimgon Sisters of Twin Elms know that Theos has escaped into a subterranean path to an Engwithan location called Sun and Shadow, blocking access behind him. The sisters revealed to me another way to reach him, perhaps even overtake him. The Burial Isle offers a path through the ruins of an ancient Engwithan prison, Braith Aemon. The route is perilous, but it may be the fastest way to Sun and Shadow, as it involves a long fall straight down. My hallucinated memories are becoming more frequent now, barely distinguishable from the waking world. Been there. I am running out of time. I need to know what Theos remembers about the past that we share, so that whatever it is that plagues my soul can be put to rest. Travel to the Burial Isle. I've learned from Sheila and Rhiannon that the way into Sun and Shadow lies in the Burial Isle district. There is an ancient court there that can lead me to Theos. So I have stuff to do.
Laying low.
Anything new in the old bio? At the base of the two giant trees, you met a pair of Delimgon sisters. See, that always gets me, that word. They explained to you that your cause was misguided, for no awakening can be undone. But they did still see value in your quest, explaining that if you could find the root of what troubled your soul, you might yet be able to resolve it. In either case, only Theos would have the knowledge I seek. I am to pursue him to a subterranean Engwithan city called Sun and Shadow. Why did this just change, like... It's all saying, like, you this, and all of a sudden it changes to I. That's weird. I am to pursue him to a subterranean Engwithan city called Sun and Shadow. The Delimgon offered a path there, but it is one I will not be able to follow without the intervention of the gods. Well, hopefully I don't have to get the help of Andra, because she is not my favorite god, and I don't think I'm her favorite mortal at this point. Oh, they're right there. I can go inside there. Can I talk to them about anything else? How do you fare, old one? I have questions.
What do you wish to know?
Nothing.
Until we meet again, old one.
Okay. No, I can't talk to them about anything else.
Slowly now.
So before I go in there, you know what? I wish it wasn't nighttime. I want to be able to see everything. So there's the two giant trees. What? How do I mean, I guess I could rest, but I don't want to use up camping supplies just to change the time of day. So I'm just going to come over here and explore. Clear waters taste sweet and refreshing. So we've got the giant trees. I guess these are the twin elms that give the city its name. Now let's go check this other place out. It's a wolf companion, a huntress. Are you sure of what you claim? I hope that the sacrifices would have waned. With the frontiers open again, I assure you we'll need much more war paint in the coming season. Even the tongues of stone bramble are livelier than yours. Beware of your candor among the merchants. Guard your tongue are on three tusked Stelgare. They are also quick to anger. Yeah, I think I got in a big fight with a bunch of them in that other room over there. Every sacrifice gives us with the power to save lives many times over. Blood Sands. I can't remember what we learned about this place. Like what somebody said about it. There is no greater honor than dying for one's tribe. If some fall in battle, how is this different? All of the Anamfatha have called upon the Ethic Null for war paint at some point. Is this where they make the war paint? Is this where the druids live? The Glanfathan stares at you and then slowly blinks away. Green trails to you, Estermore. Don't worry, Estermore. All who make sacrifices here do so willingly. Alright. So we've got some, like, runic symbols here carved into this. Let's go in here and see what's up. I think this is where the druids are. I think this might be where I need to come with, what's his name? Haravius, if this is where the druids are. But let's go in here and find out what's up in Blood Sands before I go to Ter Evron or the other districts. Cool loading screen. There's the end of the bridge. There's the foot of the giant tree and the entrance to Ter Evron. Keeper Garost. It's very dark and flamey in here. The Ethic Null welcome your presence, supplicants. Essence taken by force may sustain one, but essence given freely empowers many. Smoke curls up from these charred skeletons. The smell is nauseating. Oh, they're burning bodies right here. A dwarven man stands motionless near the roaring fire that lights the cavern. Your sacrifice feeds the land, supplicants. Come forth. A gust of smoke curls around him, licking the charred flesh that bulges on his forearms. Oh, he's burning himself? What are these people doing here? They suddenly flex. Estromor. The dwarf holds his fists in a tight grip. Your kin doesn't come here to share with the tribes. What do you want? What's this place? Blood Sands. The dwarf picks on his scarred forearm. His guttural sigh mingles with the crackling of wood and bones behind him. As I said, Estromorin rarely visit our halls. The Glanfathans call this place Blood Sands. We call it home. The Ethic Null have tended the land from within this cave since before the arrival of the tribes to Twin Elms. So they've been here a minute. They're like the ancient druids that predate the Glanfathans, I guess. Garost crosses his arms. Be warned, Estromor. We bleed life to nurture it. Our sacrifices may strike you as savage, but the health of these lands depends on them, and it's unseemly for guests to insult their hosts. Tell me about the Ethic Null. Our order has thrived for generations. Before we came to Twin Elms, our rites fed the lands of the Eastern Mountains. Now we share blood for Erglanfath. Garost opens his palms. Strikes of red skin run through them like flames. Maybe streaks? To everything that must end, our sacrifices bring a new beginning. He looks up. We sustain what's to come with sacrifices. Alright, I can't tell if these people are good or creepy. Or both. Tell me about the sacrifices. Garost spreads his stocky legs apart and locks his forearms. Everything must die to return anew, Estromor. Through the sacrificial rites, we offer supplicants the honor of giving their most precious gift back to their brethren, back to the land. The dwarf lifts his fist, thick and mottled by red scars. The blood gives us strength. Even the Glonfothans have come to depend on the blood paint. They brim with power before battle, all thanks to the sacrifices of their kin. So they have to use sacrifices to make the war paint, which empowers the people. Okay. So, a little bit creepy. Remember, Estremor, you're a guest in these halls. Respect our ways and we'll tolerate your presence among us. I hope this doesn't turn ugly. Garros watches your approach without betraying any emotion. Be welcome, Estremor. Alright, nothing new here.
Let's see what lies this way.
Greatness requires sacrifice. These halls are not for the weak of spirit. There are still rites to be performed at the main altar if you wish to observe. We only ask that you remain silent. Have you come to give of yourself, elf? You may seek out any of our order within the sacrificial chambers. Supplicant. There is no greater honor than dying for one's tribe. If some fall in battle, how is this different? We've read all this before. Okay, what about Talon? There's a new person here named Talon.
Slowly now.
What's in here? A pearl. Don't need it. Not gonna steal. Then I could go this way or this way. Alright, let's talk to Talon. Talk to Talon. Just says the same stuff as the normal people. Okay. Let's go this way first. Ooh,
Worth a look.
Shit. Keepers, and now there's Naka here as well. Found some spirits. Some people fear it, some people cheer it, some people just won't go near it.
Silent as my feet.
Keepers. These halls are not for the weak of spirit. Alright, who's Naka? The petitioner before you is swaddled in loose-fitting robes. Her hair is greasy and matted. A glossy film of sweat and grime coats her exposed skin. She has the swollen features of pregnancy and several missing teeth in her big, grinning smile. As you approach, she slowly turns to you and examines you from head to toe, smiling the entire time. "Joyous day to you," she says. Despite coming from a wearied body, her voice sounds resonant and relaxed. "I am Naka, midwife and lore keeper." Her hands run across the slight bulge in her belly. She rolls her head back and sighs a relaxed purr. "Are you feeling well?" "Flawless," she replies. "Apologies, I should be left to my meditation. The rite of strength is invigorating, almost overwhelming to the senses." She reaches down and cradles her belly in her hands and turns away. Well, that's interesting. Alright, nothing new here. Okay.
Slowly now.
Secret hidden shit. Oh, it's just some lockpicks. Keepers. Have you come to give of yourself, elf? You may seek out any of our order within the sacrificial chambers. What is that? It's just a flame blight wandering around. Not hostile, apparently. Keeper.
Found something.
Greatness requires sacrifice.
I've got it.
Pick this lock. Alright, I'm not going to steal any of their stuff. I just wanted to look. Some emeralds. I'm not going to steal their emeralds. Just wanted to look. Ooh. The gift of sacrifice transmutes blood and water, blood into water, and essence into power. Just as the flesh of one nourishes many, the sacrifice freely made strengthens those that will come to us. Strength for the ones that will come to us. So they're having themselves a little ceremony here.
Nice and slow.
Look, while y'all are doing that, I'm just going to be looking around. Don't mind us just running through the middle of your little ceremony here. Don't mind us. The blood of sacrifice waters the soil of Erglonfoth. The silent chanter eyes you steadily. The chanter says nothing. The chanter grunts a long, low syllable that echoes through the cave. The silent chanter eyes you steadily. The chanter says nothing. These halls are not for the weak of spirit. These halls are not for the weak of spirit. He works it into the fucking liturgy or whatever. Not gonna steal their copper. Don't need it. So it's just kind of go, look at this. Look at their beds. It's just a hard stone slab with nothing else. So these are some legit ascetics here. These people are probably monks. All of them monks. Ready to kick my ass. I get the feeling from this place that it's the kind of place where something could happen where you've got to fight everybody fucking here. Or it might not happen that way. You know, like this is an optional combat area, I'm feeling. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Just getting the sense that something could go terribly wrong with my relations with these people, and I might have to fight them all. The fire sacrifice chamber. The heat emanating from this pool threatens to singe the flesh of your face. So I don't get it. Do they just burn themselves, and somehow in the sake of burning themselves, it creates magical power for the others to use to do stuff? Or do they actually have to throw themselves into the fiery pit and die and have their soul energy taken and used? Essence within to nurture flesh, and essence without to strengthen it. Creepy looking skull on the wall right there. Ooh,
Found
hidden
something.
stuff. And there's a trap. Oh, secret room. Whoa! Traps for days! That stuff probably shoots out of that skull if you trigger the traps. I hope I don't, get in trouble for being in this room.
Finished.
Disarm. There's some Blood Testament. Bonus melee damage from wounds. Ah, that's for monks. A monk from the Abbey of the Cloven Wheel mastered suffering by taxing her body to its limits each day. Such was her discipline that her sensitivity to pain and her ability to redirect it reached heights previously unknown in her order. Following her death in battle, the fellows of the Abbey gave her bloodied hand bandages a place of honor in their great hall. An unknown thief stole the bandages along with several other relics in 2802 AI. Since then, the wrappings have circulated among various monks of different orders, so this is a whole big group of fucking monks up in here. Flasks of war paint. So this is what they make. It's not that great. I mean, yeah, it's a nice bonus, but for only 20 seconds, how the fuck good is that? I mean, we put it on before battle and go in strong. Yeah, for the first 20 seconds of battle, I mean, how much of that time are you spending just moving into the battle? You know what I'm saying? Like, at least half that time you're spending just moving to engage. And that's if you start off really close to your enemy. Binding the essence of sacrificed lives into a potent brew of blood and magic, war paint crafted by the Ethic Knoll has empowered Glonfothan warriors to perform great feats of strength and dexterity for hundreds of years. I wish item buffs lasted longer in this game. Like, all these potions that I have and stuff, they just don't last very long. It's hardly worth using them because they suddenly wear off, like, really quick. Let's disarm this. Glonfothan Adroswin. Huh, that's a nice little necklace, but I don't need it. I'm not gonna steal their shit. Not gonna steal their shit. They have shit, and I'm not gonna steal it. What's up, supplicants? They say the Ethicnol first learned to make warpaint in the White March and were banished for it. Ooh, the White March. I know all about the White March. I've done some shit up there. I done some shit, I said. That is some proper ass English right there. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna steal their stuff. I almost took it just out of habit without thinking about it. Not a whole lot. I have a feeling I'm gonna get a quest that brings me back in here to deal with these people or something. Because I don't have one so far, and at the moment there's like no reason for me to be in here. Oh, another named keeper though. Keeper Wortha. That's a nice potion, but I've got like a million of those. Keeper Wortha, what do you have for me? Maybe she has a quest for me. Is the plot going to thicken?
Builder's wisdom to you.
The elderly dwarf blinks at you, not quite looking at you. Her eyes are pale and clouded with cataracts. Welcome to Blood Sands. It's rare that an Estremor sets foot in these caverns. Her sightless eyes fix on you as she tilts her head. What brings you here, I wonder? Tell me about Blood Sands. This is the raw, bloody heart of Air Glanfath, where some come to give their essence back to their people. Her dry lips bend into a sardonic grin, where others seek a noble escape from their trials. The legacy of the builders to the tribes was not merely Adra and stone, but a sense of community. And it is here that Glanfathans come to sacrifice what is most precious, even their own lives, to preserve it. Something more? What do you do here? I sell and maintain certain goods for the preservation of our order, and I perform some of our ritual sacrifices. How do these sacrifices work? Like any worthwhile ritual, it's too complex to explain in detail. It involves clotting the supplicant's essence, binding it to their life's blood, and drawing it into a container or vessel. Oh, wow, okay. Well, I'd like to see what you have for sale. So I can buy Warpaint, I can buy those potions. I guess that's it. How much does it cost to retrain? Only 2,000 copper, lol. Okay. Alright, so she's basically just a potion vendor. Potion vendor, she's a vendor. Yeah, see, they wouldn't have created this whole big complex here with all these enemy type things wandering around. And like, I mean, this is like a dungeon. They wouldn't have created all this if there wasn't like a chance to have like a quest where you've got to fight all these people or something. The bravest sons and daughters fall not by the swords of Estremoran, but by the daggers of their brethren. If you say so. I have a feeling that any combat I get into during Chapter 3 is going to be easy. Because I never activated the high-level scaling thing for Chapter 3, which means all of this stuff is that I fight... Ooh. Shit's going... Oh, Archdruid. Okay. We just found the relevant room in this place. Party? Yeah. So anything that I fight coming up here, you know, in this part of the game is going to be scaled for, like, characters much lower level than I am, and it'd probably be super easy. Which actually, frankly, I'm happy about. I'm ready for some nice easy fights after the super hard stuff at the end of the White March. And capping it off with that damn dragon. Alright, before I proceed in here, I'm going to quick save, because something might, like, start going on when I move forward. Something might start going crazy. Yep, see? Something's happening.
As your blood flows, so shall your essence. Your life's energy shall feed the soil, and your soul's energy shall enrich the community. This is by your own choosing, supplicant?
Archdruid Reston. A dwarven man stands on a raised platform. Beneath him, an elf lies prone on a stone table. Actually, technically, that elf is lying supine. If it was lying prone, he'd be on his stomach. That's supine. But, you know, let's not quibble. Let's not quibble. As you get closer, you hear the dwarf speak in a gravelly monotone. Alright, so this is voluntary, presumably? Or are people getting, like... Are people being, like, strong-armed into doing this and just saying it's voluntary? Yes! The elf's voice is high but even. The dwarf grips a hatchet with both hands and raises it over his head. He throws his shoulders forward and swings the weapon into the elf's chest, connecting with a meaty thump. Jeez, that's brutal. Blood gushes around the blade, and the sacrifice's screams rend the air. Despite his earlier agreement, the elf thrashes atop the stone table, his torso arching while his arms and legs remain tied in place. Meanwhile, the dwarf spreads his arms wide and allows blood to spatter his robes. He's bespattered. When the elf is finally silent and still, the dwarf pulls his hatchet from the body and wipes it on his hem. Kana makes a disgusted noise and turns away. I think I preferred these rites when they were only words upon a page. Why did I look? It's not as if I didn't expect it. Yeah, that was a little bit more, fucking savage than I was expecting.
Let's see what lies this way.
I'm not going to steal your gems. Don't need them. Chancer says nothing. For some reason, this Chancer has a bow. Streaks of red-brown blood and globs of tissue have worked themselves into the minute grooves of the stone. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is just a straight-up, creepy-ass, savage blood sacrifice cult of druids. I mean, these are like some old-school, scary druids. These aren't just the happy, like, hey, we hang out in the forest and we like animals and we're really nice kind of druids. Alright, let's talk to this guy. The dwarf wears crimson robes that are stained and streaked with dark patches. It's blood. His face is smooth but lacking youthful elasticity. It's as if the lines and wrinkles have been formed and erased many times over. He's had a lot of surgery done. This guy, he's had some cosmetic work done. He's just, you know, don't mention it. He's a little bit self-conscious about it. Guy, you know, he grew up in L.A. What do you want from him? He watches you with eyes like two black pits as he wipes his hatchet on his robes. Hail, Estramor!
Few outsiders dare to venture this far into Blood Sands. You, however, are not easily intimidated. What brings you here?
His voice is deep and rough-edged. It echoes like a river in an ancient cave. Aggressive 3, yeah, I'm not easily intimidated. Who are you?
I am the Archdruid of the Ethic Null. For centuries it has been my duty to guide our rituals and guard our knowledge. It is work that requires a certain resilience, but it is not without its benefits.
His black eyes glitter. Reston's eerily smooth face is motionless as he watches you. Tell me more about the Ethic Null. We are a druidic order that has been in Twin Elms since Ingwithan times. Our founders came from the White March, seeking a place where we might practice our beliefs in peace, as it were. Unlike most of our Glanfathan brethren, we seek answers in the world around us, rather than in the teachings of the gods. We believe that all life has power, and that this power can be siphoned and conducted. We are not, as some suggest, madmen and murderers. All of our rituals are conducted with willing participants, and through methods that have been tested and refined over centuries. He nods, his black eyes shining. This allows us to create the war paint for which we are respected, if not loved. What's war paint? A special unguent binding raw essence to the wearer. It grants incredible advantages in combat and has made us indispensable to the tribes. Whatever they say about our practices, almost all of them have made use of our war paint at some time or another. A slow smile spreads across his face. Fascinating indeed, how the most strident objections can be overcome by circumstance. I want to know more about your sacrifices. A guttural laugh rumbles from his throat. We merely believe that, giving up something of value, the energy from that sacrifice can be diverted elsewhere. It is not so different from what folk practice all over the world. If you want to turn the soil, sail a ship, or move a cart, you must expend energy. Yes, but people all over the world do not strap a dude down to a stone tower and butcher him with a hatchet in order to get that energy. He smooths his robes. But we're best known for our practice of kith sacrifice. This is the most potent form of sacrifice because it releases the most energy. We distill the essence of an entire soul into raw power that can strengthen the body, fortify the soul, and extend life. Alright, human sacrifice of people, just so you can have some fucking buff war paint, is some bullshit. Like, yeah, and it's voluntary. They volunteer. Yeah, except I'm sure everybody is socially pressured into it. They're like, hey, if you're cool, you'll volunteer for the... but if you don't volunteer for the sacrifice, then you suck, and that kind of thing, and people are like, oh, I guess I better do it. More than a little different from sailing a ship, Kana squirms. An interesting perspective, even so. The Glonfathans are never half-hearted in their superstitions, are they? Kana's pretty fascinated and yet disturbed by this. As am I. How are you different from the Ovates of the Golden Grove? A dry laugh rasps from his throat. Golden Grove! I remember when Arona came up with that name. Gives you a darkly gleeful look. Used to be as green as the rest of the forest, We're more similar than they'd like to admit. We both believe in achieving power without the double-edged aid of the gods. But their fantasy is pure creation. Something from nothing. They blind themselves to the fact that all life, from the mightiest dragon to the slimmest blade of grass, requires death. And the greatest ends require the greatest sacrifice. That's just the way the world works. Yes, we are simply observers. Declaring the morality of the natural world is as pointless as naming the winds. Hey, The Name of the Wind is a great book by Patrick Rothfuss. Don't hate on Naming the Wind. I'd like to buy war paint. I'm no merchant, Elf. Talk to Keeper Wertha. She's around here somewhere. That's all I wanted to know. Reston's eerily smooth face is motionless as he watches you. Murdered a man right here. He lowers his head. Your simplistic morals do not apply here, Estremor. Murder does not enter into it.
It was a sacrifice, and one willingly entered into. The survival of all things depends on balance. Give and take.
Smooth skin at the corners of his mouth and eyes wrinkles for one brief instant. It was a sacrifice. Okay, it was a sacrifice. Willingly. This principle lies at the heart of all power. Expending something of value releases energy. Energy that can be channeled by those who know how. Tilts his head towards you. All Kith, whether or not they care to admit it, practice this. We take the yield of the land and the flesh of beasts to live, and we give our blood and sweat to propagate the things we desire. Oh, see, so I could start a fight right the fuck here, and I'd have to fight my way out of this place. But of course I don't want to start a fight. Sounds brutal. No. Katie's barbaric. She can see what he means. I can see what you mean. Then you're wiser than most. There's much power in the world for those who have the will and the knowledge to tap into it. His black eyes dance. I invite you to explore our halls and speak with our supplicants. One can learn much by observing the sacrifices others are willing to make for a greater purpose. Perhaps you will even consider making a sacrifice of your own. He opens one hand towards you. The creases and nails are darkened and brown. Not all of our sacrifices are written in blood, but the most powerful are. Farewell. And he also did not give me any kind of quest or anything. So, interesting though. This is an interesting area. These
which is not very
human sacrifice druids. They ain't playing. They ain't playing. Human sacrifice druids. Druids of the human sacrifice. Do you like being sacrificed? If you do, you'd love these druids. Just saying. Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go. Talon, anything new? No. Keeper Garost, anything new? No. We're out of here. We've explored this place. We didn't steal anything. We had some interesting conversations and learned of their ways. And now we're out. We are outies. We are all kinds of out. We are history. So up next, we will go into Ter Evron, I suppose, and actually advance the main quest. Yup. That is what we shall do.
Steady does it.
Hey, it's daylight now. You can actually see. Of course, everything's all in shadows, so I guess monsters and hunters care not for feelings, but is it worth the suffering we feel? It's a big tower with big trees wrapped around it. Ter Evron. Pretty cool place. Pretty cool. Alright, in our next episode, we will go into Ter Evron. But that is going to do it for this one. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Pillars of Eternity.